The Story of Robert Berdella by Ali Scott. Berdella was born in Ohio in 1949 and was raised Catholic, though he stopped attending church when he was a teenager. His father worked as a die setter of the Ford Motor Company, and his mother was a homemaker. He was severely nearsighted and had to start wearing thick glasses at the age of 5. When he was 7, his brother Daniel was born. He did very well in school, though teachers found him difficult to teach, and other students bullied him. When Robert was 16, his 39-year-old father died of a heart attack. His mother remarried shortly afterwards, to Robert's resentment and anger. He later claimed that around the same time he was sexually assaulted by a male co-worker at a restaurant where he worked. In 1967, Berdella enrolled in the Kansas City Art Institute, hoping to become a professor, but instead pursued a career as a chef. During his time in art school, he engaged in animal torture at least 3 times. During 2 of them, he tortured a duck and a chicken, and on the 3rd, he experimented with sedatives and tranquilizers on a dog. He also began a criminal career, abusing alcohol and selling drugs. At the age of 19, he was arrested for possession of LSD and marijuana, but was released after 5 days due to a lack of evidence. Berdella is believed to have started killing in July 1984. He drugged one of his friends, sex worker Jerry Howell, and started keeping him in his basement, torturing and repeatedly raping him over a night before fatally asphyxiating him. In April 1985, another friend of Berdella, Robert Sheldon, came to stay with him for a few days and was drugged and held captive in the basement like Howell before him. At first, Berdella changed his mind about keeping him and took him to a doctor to have his injuries treated. Not long afterwards, he changed his mind and returned Sheldon to his basement. On April 15th, a workman came to do some work on Berdella's home, leading Berdella to fatally suffocate Sheldon so he would not be hurt. The following June, Berdella found Mark Wallace, who had helped him with yard work, hiding in his tool shed to seek shelter from a storm. Berdella invited him inside his house, drugged him, and started holding him captive. After hours of torture, he was killed like the previous victims. In September, he picked up James Ferris at a gay bar, invited him home, and took him captive. After weeks of torture, he was killed. In June 1986, Berdella lured Todd Stoops, a male prostitute he had known for some time, to his house and held him captive for 6 weeks before he died too. Next year, he bailed Larry Pearson out of jail and started holding him prisoner in his basement. According to Berdella, Pearson was by far the most cooperative of his 6 murder victims. Throughout his 6 weeks of captivity, Pearson had trained himself to sleep without moving, in order that he did not antagonize Berdella and thus invite further torture. After 6 weeks of captivity, Berdella killed Pearson by first bludgeoning him into unconsciousness and later suffocating him with a bag and ligature. Based on the information I found out that Berdella was greedy, naive, rude, and sexually pleasing. He would always torture his victims sexually before killing them, and he would control them in a way that they can't control themselves. If Robert Berdella had a personality disorder or any disorder, I would think he would have borderline, because he always had unstable relationships with everyone he encountered.